Jamie, just describe to us how much does this put to rest, this settlement, the claims against VW on the diesel emissions?
Not much at all. I mean, and in terms of the details, I think, to the extent it helps to set aside any risk, for investors that this is going to really blow up, that they're at total loggerheads with the regulators and it's going to turn into a nasty lawsuit. But for consumers, if you own one of these almost 600,000 non-compliant vehicles in the U.S. and you thought, okay, today, finally, 7 months after this all came out, I'm going to know what I can do with my car.
Right.
You're just going to have to wait 2 more months, at least. So he set a no date of June 21st for them to come back and try to have a final settlement by then. They're going to have another meeting in the meantime, but they don't have fixes worked out. They don't know what money people are going to get. But the judge said they're making good progress. So 9 months after it all comes out, then maybe we'll know what's going to happen.
Jamie, VW set aside $6.7 billion. We have carried this story all day that the deal struck today was for $10 billion. There's been all sorts of theoretical figures for what the total cost could be for VW, some ranging as high as $42 billion. Are we any clearer on that?
We're not since, the report of last night. I think, the $10 billion lines up somewhat with that original 7, but of course that original, 7-ish billion, $7.3 billion, I think, after the currency translation, that was originally set aside as a global number for fixes. So if it's going to cost them $10 billion just to fix those in the U.S., obviously it's more than they had initially expected. VW has said all along, or pretty quickly said they knew that it would require more. But the other costs, whether there be criminal penalties from the Justice Department, the shareholder lawsuits in Europe, that's still going to be hanging out there even after we get the California thing settled, which, again, we don't know what that's going to cost. Even the $10 billion that our source said for the repairs, there's also another big chunk that's probably going to come out of this California case, which is the remediation. That's
right.
Another, the funds to undo the damage that they've done to the environment.
Okay, Jamie, before we go, just what else is out there? What are the other claims that are out there?
Yeah, I kind of ran through those, but yeah, I think there's a shareholder lawsuit in Europe. There are still some claims in Europe. There's the big investigation by the Justice Department. They're doing a 2-track investigation, kind of like they did with BP,
right,
where they're in this civil case that's in California, along with a lot of customers and dealers and all that. But they're also running a criminal prosecution that is technically separate and allows them to go after more from there. And then there's, of course, the cost of remediation, which is going to be billions. It's whether it's a few billions or several billion.